One of the things I've always liked about Monster Hunter is what it says on the outside of the box is what the video game is. If you like monsters and you like hunting, this is the game for you.
Well, I think Paul's very successful at taking games and turning them into movies, and I knew that we would be taking on a challenge.
We joke it's Lawrence of Arabia with monsters. It's an epic genre movie.
It was a crazy shoot, amazing locations. I mean, this is an adventure.
It's big, badass landscapes, and you get to battle monsters. I got into Monster Hunter 11 years ago. I played it in Japan. I fell in love with the creatures, the beautiful landscapes, the themes of the video game. So I optioned it from Capcom.
My husband optioned the property rights to this game like 10 years ago, and he's been obsessed with this game for the last decade.
This has been the longest I've ever worked on a film project, and I'm kind of glad that it took that long because the game has evolved. It's become a worldwide phenomenon.
Monster Hunter is a Capcom game, and they've done a fantastic job in building this franchise. It's been remarkable how much they've allowed us to take this project and adapt it in a way that we think it could become a feature.
Absolutely.
The fans of all these games are very passionate about the games, and so when you stick your head above the parapet and make a film about the game, you better get it right.
There's not a lot of information on the internet, so we hired a consultant who's a gamer who's managed to finish this game. He came in and he would dress avatars for us, and then we managed to compile quite a good wardrobe that we could pull from.
We reference things that you might not notice straight away, things like hieroglyphics on the rocks, for instance, you know? The game is splattered with them, and so it's a subtle thing, but it means a massive thing to the fans.
Thomas, the production designer, he's really referencing the game, but he's also extremely smart on how to make something epic.
For me, I'd like to do everything for real. If they would allow me to breed huge, big, 7-story monsters, I would do it and I would film it. But because that's not an option, the monsters are CG, but everything else in the movie is real. So we shot in a lot of very, very remote landscapes in Africa. A lot of them had never been put on film before, which is really exciting.
Some of the locations that we filmed in Monster Hunter were beyond extreme. We literally had these tent villages in the middle of nowhere, like 200 miles away from the nearest little general store. And it was wild.
We wanted landscapes that were very real, but also a little fantastical. And in Cedarburg, where we shoot the Island of Rock, you have these incredible red stone structures. It's almost like a huge amphitheater of an alien race. And we also shot in the Studstall Cave, which is where Milla and the hunter hide from the Nasilla creatures.
I was so excited when we saw Studstall Cave because it's straight out of the game. You know, when you spend so much time looking around the game and playing it and trying to get into the game's sort of psyche, and then you walk into a place like Studstall, it just comes alive.
It helps when you become aware viscerally of the scope of the world that you're functioning in. You're like a kid in a candy store.
Being able to shoot on these locations, I definitely think gives this movie reality that you don't get sometimes in these big visual effect movies, but really like grounds everything.
One of the great things about these landscapes is they add reality to the monsters. It gave the animators who are doing the creatures reality to lock into. There's real sun, there's real wind, so it makes the monsters look more real. It was a real pleasure to put them on screen.
My favorite monster would have to be the Rathalos. You know, he's just such a rock star, and he's so badass and big, and I love dragons.
Rathalos, he's one of the toughest creatures to kill. He's a beautiful creation. He's been in nearly all of the games. But one of my personal favorites is a creature called the Nasilla, which is kind of like a cross between the alien and a giant spider. There's a creature called the Diablos. She's angry, and she lives underneath the sand, and she's one of the main adversaries that our characters have to face in the first half of the movie. There's also the Remobra, which is a creature from some of the earlier games. It's like a cross between a hammerhead shark and a snake. And also the Palico. These are characters from the games that are these cat creatures that are super intelligent. And this Palico is called Meowscular Chef, and he once was a warrior. And then at the very end of the film, we have the Gormagala, which is a very rare creature from some of the earlier games, and that's a kind of setup for a little sequel, potentially.
Aim for the belly!
When you've got such a huge sort of dynasty of games to draw from, you can step back into time to some of the other games, and we did that with the monsters.
Hey, Ugly!
Paul is great because he's really got an amazing hold on the material, but he's very open to ideas that make it better.
We built the movie so that it would certainly work for people that know nothing about the video game. But if you play the video game, you'll know that the people who made this movie love Monster Hunter. The movie is very much the video game put on screen.